Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully, you are having a great and wonderful day like we have been having for the last past few days. Yes, yes, yes. President Trump won two major victories. Now, people will tell you, oh, this is really nothing. This is really nothing. This was split. This was not split. The case in about the Alien Act is not a split. Donald Trump didn't share victory with no one. Now, you know, and I'm going to say the same thing I said on TikTok now. If you are watching me on Mind of Jamal Live, if you are watching me on Mind of Jamal Live, please go over to Mind of Jamal MOJ. Shayne is going to put the link in the comment section so you can be able to come over, okay? Shayne's going to put that link so you can be able to come over, all right? We are going to rumble tonight. We are going to rumble. I was going to try to do a call-in tonight, but I got so much to go in. I got so much to go into tonight that I don't think I'll be able to do phone calls because, no offense to anybody, I got to stay on point tonight because I'm hype. For the last past few days, for the last past few weeks, people like myself have been saying, ignore the courts. Ignore the courts. I still stand by that comment, ignore the courts when it comes to the district court judges, because they were overstepping their boundaries. I believe 100% these district court judges were overstepping their boundaries. Now, if you are on Mind of Jamal Live, I just posted it, and I'm going to start a poll so you guys can be able to come in. Matter of fact, so you guys can see what I'm doing, because so when I got to get quiet, I got to come over here. Is this a what the heck? Oh man, I tried to do it. Is this a great week for President Trump so far? Yes, kinda. There you go. Is it a great week for President Trump so far? Yes. Kinda. We still got 4 days left. Now, I'll be honest. It's been a great week. It's been a great week so far. It's been a great week so far. So far. To me, it's been a great week. Even CNN is having to acknowledge he's not a lame duck. He's a soaring eagle. Their words. We got to talk about how he's doing. We got to talk about the workers. That case done came in. We got to talk about the case with the gentleman from Maryland, the MS-13. That dropped as well. Then we got to talk about $2 billion a day has came into this nation since we've done tariffs. $2 billion. We also tonight, we're going to talk about this Karmelo Anthony. Karmelo Anthony is a murderer. He stabbed that boy, which I've said in previous videos. He stabbed him all because he was mad. This white boy told him, leave. We're going to talk about how they actually got a GoFundMe. I believe it's a GoFundMe. It's another, maybe another one of those. How he got $200,000 for his legal defense. Actors and Hollywood stars are saying he was defending himself. This is just like Trayvon Martin. So can we stop hear you crying about Trayvon Martin? Since you comparing it to Trayvon Martin, can we stop hearing y'all cry about Trayvon Martin? What's going on? You're trying to get another George Floyd. You're trying to do another, we gonna guilt white people into helping us stop Trump. What's going on? Liberal white Democrats have given their marching orders to black Democrats. You better do something to help stop this man. You're not doing enough. So now black people trying to give up all this sympathy for Karmelo Anthony so they can convince whites who are quote unquote independent and on the fence to start backing Democrats and Democrat policies. Because you got people like this racist professor, Eddie Glaude Jr., who we're going to talk about his comments as well tonight. We're going to talk about those. Number one, MSNBC should have been had their stuff pulled. Because if you're going to have blatant racists like this, it is time that there's somebody on the other side that believe just as blatant racist or dog whistles. It's time that somebody white be on Fox News that do blatant dog whistles. Say stuff like, come on now, when you heard of this stabbing, you knew who it was. Come on now. You know it won't Thaddeus. It was Jamarquavius. Someone who says stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you something before we go to the videos. One of the things I hear, hello, Miss Yvette Romick. Hello, Auntie. How are you? Hope you saw that I gave you a shout out over there. Haven't even said nothing yet, but I gave you a shout out over there on Rumble. But this racist professor said something, and there was no pushback. I don't understand why MSNBC and NBC are not put out of the press pool. Nobody from InfoWars were allowed in the press room during Joe Biden's presidency. So tell me, why is MSNBC in the press pool in the presidency? Especially with this stuff. But I'm going to spend time, first and foremost, we're going to talk about this Anthony murder. And one of the great commentators who I like to listen to said something, and a lot of people are mad. But he's telling the truth. They are trying to turn this case into another George Floyd. Simple and plain, they're trying to turn it into George Floyd so people can get out here and try to stop the Trump administration and have people talking about that other than Donald Trump winning. And courts are being set in line. But without further ado, let's get started.
This is a cut and dry case that somehow is being turned into not a cut and dry case. And I don't think this is by accident. I don't think this is organic. So Austin Metcalf, 17-year-old kid, sitting under a tent at a high school track meet on a Monday or Tuesday morning. I can't, my memory's now getting a little fuzzy, but he's sitting under a tent in the stands, and this is kind of commonplace and common practice, and he sees a kid sitting under their tent that's not from their school, and there's some sort of conversation about, hey, kid, you need to move. And the other 17-year-old kid, Karmelo Anthony, gets, according to Austin Metcalf's brother, Hunter, he gets a little agitated, gets a little saucy. They exchange words. Austin allegedly grabs this kid's backpack or in some way puts his hands on this kid, and Karmelo Anthony stabs him in the chest and the heart, actually, and Austin Metcalf bleeds out and dies in his brother's arms. Now, based off of what we've heard Hunter Metcalf say in television interviews, based off what we've heard from related to what the police allegedly had Karmelo Anthony saying, like, hey, I did it. Can I claim self-defense and some of these other things? This seems cut and dry. Two high school kids had a verbal dispute, and one kid stabbed another kid in the heart. This is murder, and this isn't controversial. And what I've seen play out in the social media space is like, and I've tried to point this out, and I've said this to people over social media, is like, someone's defense team, Karmelo Anthony's defense team, and these non-government organizations, NGOs, that seem dedicated to driving racial division, they're pumping out information over social media that is clouding up a cut and dry case, and it is trying to draw a lot of sympathy and change the narrative on what transpired here and what seems a cut and dry case. And I posted over X this weekend, I was like, hey man, everything you see related to this case everything that is being posted, a lot of it I think is bought and paid for by the defense team that wants to change the conversation around this event, and these NGOs, and they want to turn this into a racial division case. And this isn't organic. People are being paid. Key influencers are being paid to pump out speculative, inaccurate information intended to change the narrative around this case. And they've done it. Because almost in an instant, this has now been turned into a case where people are tossing around the word, well, Austin Metcalf was bullying Karmelo Anthony. And how dare Austin Metcalf take it upon himself to tell this kid to leave this tent. And he was bullying Karmelo Anthony, and Karmelo Anthony was just standing his ground. And yes, does this not sound, it sounds crazy, and it sounds like, well, that won't fly. You can't have a verbal confrontation and have someone touch your backpack or touch you on the arm and respond by stabbing the other person. But the conversation's been changed. People are now saying, well, Austin was bullying him, and did Karmelo overreact? And I have to say, hats off to the defense team. They've changed this entire conversation. This is a cut and dry case about a kid that responded to what he perceived as disrespect with violence, and we've seen this time and time again from young black kids. This is how young black kids treat each other in their own all-black communities.
And Jason Whitlock is telling the truth. Hey, Miss V Long, how are you doing, Miss V Long? Hopefully you're having a blessed and wonderful night, Miss V Long. Amtrak Horn, San Napier, Uncle Rosters. This is what's going on. The defense team have got this totally turned around because they actually had a fundraiser for this young man. $208,000 they've gotten. So now they've gotten some more lawyers, and he's being bullied. And that's true. In the black community, I'm gonna tell you, yes. It's more violence in the black community. That's not a lie. There is more violence in the black community, hands down. I'm going to tell you like this. Chris Rock famously said it. When I go to the ATM machine, I got a gun. Why do I got a gun? I'm not looking for Ted Koppel. I'm not looking for Ernest. I'm not looking for Tony. I'm looking for Joaquavius. I'm looking for Pookie. I'm looking for niggas. Because that's who's going to try to rob me. It's always going, that's just what it is, because my community has fully embraced a culture that says it's okay to be the dregs of society. My community celebrates and promotes the dregs of a society. And please, I know what somebody's going to say. White people, we do it too, Jamal. Oh, shut up. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have white community, when it comes to the music, is different. Yes, you got Eminem now, who is participating in black culture. Machine Gun Kelly, participating in black culture. But when you listen to rock and roll, what did you hear them talking about? Partying, having a good time. You listen to country music. What do you hear? Hunting, country, loving your girl, having a good time. Opera, having a elegance and exquisite and culture. When you hear what the black community normalizes, is thuggery, is hooliganism. That's why all our athletes have to look like they just got out of a prison. That's why our athletes and our stars, when you see them, they got to dress and act like hoodlums and thugs. And a lot of people know that, and people keep trying to do it because you don't want the same races. You think, some of you think, by saying it's the white community, you striking a blow against racism. What you're doing is you're making a situation worse because you're not saying, hey, there's something wrong over there. Y'all need to fix it. My truck broke down to me this morning. I'm driving to work, and the serpentine belt got chewed up. I'm driving, my pump giving out, the battery start cutting off. I had to go pay $55 for a new serpentine belt and a driver power steering fluid cap. Now, if you saw me stranded on the side of the road and you saw my belt ate up and smoke coming up out of my truck where the radiator was spitting out hot water, and do you think it's going to help me if you turn around and say, well, Jamal, if you look at my vehicle, the windshield wiper fluid is out. Jamal, guess what else? I also got a blinker that's not blinking properly. You're not helping me at all because I have a serious situation. A serious situation. And you're trying to, I guess, make yourself feel better by pointing out the slights in your vehicle isn't helping. And that's the one thing that ticks me off. That's the one thing that ticks me off with people. I get so sick and tired of hearing people say, well, Jamal, it's not the black community ain't the only ones doing this type of stuff. The white community doing, shut up. No, they're not. They're not celebrating and dead like they done in the black community. When the last time you hear people celebrating drive-by shootings in the white community? Come on now. White people known to tell on folk. When you think about it, white folk known to tell on each other. You know they'll tell you quick. White folk will tell on you. Black folk, we got a no snitch code. You mean to tell me you seen this boy shoot this child in a drive-by shooting at somebody else, but you can't say nothing because you ain't snitching. My mama ain't raised no snitch. Kind of stupid mess is that? And what happened was, Karmelo Anthony has been around a culture that says you can't go out like no punk, especially no white boy. You got to handle him, and he stabbed that boy in the heart and he killed him. Instead of someone saying, hey, look, I got mad, he got mad, it was wrong, he let his temper get the best of him, he was wrong. Nope, nobody didn't say that. They got to sit here and talk about, oh, well, you got to understand that All people do it. All people don't do it. I get so sick and tired of people saying all people don't do it. If you was to eliminate the black on black murder in America, if you was to just to take that statistic out, do you know America's death by gun violence drops us out of the top 10? If you was to eliminate the black on black crime part of it, drops us out by the top 10. Young black men are responsible for over 59% of the murders. You add black women into it, the black community, which is 13% of the population, is responsible for 64% of the murders in America. People don't like Jason Whitlock, because Jason Whitlock tells the truth. He tells the truth about what's going on. He tells the truth about what is going on. And too many black folk don't like to be held accountable. Don't like to be held accountable. And I'm going to say this. I'm talking about something right now. Let's stay focused on it, especially in the comment section. Let's stay focused on it, especially in the comment section. Please. This young man is a murderer. His life has been thrown away, and people are trying to present him something else because he's black. And as long as if it's okay for black folk to be racist, long if it's okay for black folk to incite violence, things are never going to change. You got black folk who are professors, and if you are on Mind of Jamal live, we're cutting off there. So if you are on Mind of Jamal live, Mind of Jamal live, good night. Mind of Jamal live, good night. Go over to Mind of Jamal MOJ.